OVC family. So over the next few days, and I think that we're probably going to do about 11 of these short little videos kind of leading up to Easter, we're going to be talking about the mission of the church. This is what Easter is actually about. Like, we often think about Easter as like this like individual thing, like Jesus came to die for me. But what if he actually was more interested in creating space for the birth of his bride, of which you are a part, and your individual salvation is key to that. But what if it's about the bride of Christ? So we're going to be looking at a couple of things that a guy named Alan Hirsch has written, and I'm just going to read these so they can his thoughts can get into our conversations as a church. And if you're watching this and you're not a part of Osborne Village Church, then just take this and think about this and maybe bring some of this stuff into how you are walking through life with your small group, for example, or maybe in your wider church context. But Hirsch says that the Christian church needs to reconnect, not just to some trendy new movement, but with the power of the original movement of the resurrection of Christ. One of the deepest held beliefs that he has, and I'm on board with this, is that all Jesus people contain the potential for world transformation. Our problem is not that we don't have the potential, but rather that we've forgotten how to access this potential because we have been so deeply scripted to think of ourselves through more domesticated, like non-missional manifestations of Christianity. We have been so programmed out of our callings that it is generally hard for us to think and act differently than what we have for hundreds of years as the church. We've now come at last to the point where we recognize the decline of Christianity in the West, in Canada for sure, and it's directly related to the way that we have done things to this point. The search for different ways of actually being missionaries in our own culture, in our own cities, has just started heating up. C.S. Lewis said, Aslan is on the move. And he is. Christ is on the move, and it's time to get unplugged, reframed, rescripted, and recommissioned to be the people Jesus designed us to be. Another way to maybe think about this, and this is a very humbling statement, is that we are perfectly designed to achieve what we are currently achieving. We are perfectly designed to achieve what we are currently achieving. If Christianity is on the decline, at least part of the issue goes to the contemporary way we live out our faith in a watching world, or before a watching world. But this is not what Jesus intended. The church that Jesus designed is made for impact, for massive, highly transformative impact. Wasn't it Jesus who said, I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it? He said that it's recorded in Matthew 16:18. But this means that the people of Christ, the church, are the ones on the offense. But we often kind of think about the church as like this sort of defensive fortress that is being assaulted from all sides these days. But that's not actually the picture that Christ gives us, that we are on the offense. The movement that Jesus designed he designed it to be advancing, to be untamed, to be a revolutionary force created to transform the world. And make no mistake, baked right into Jesus' words is the idea of the eventual and guaranteed victory of the church. The gates of hell will not prevail against it. If we are not somehow part of this, then there's something wrong with the prevailing designs, our prevailing mentality, and maybe even our prevailing passion to see Christ known and to make him known. For this to change, there is a need for us to be actually zealous, to see the gospel lived out right here, right now, by every one of us, in front of everyone that we come in contact with. So over the next few videos, we're going to look at how we do this together as the church, because none of us are designed to do this alone. Like Paul said, that he planted and Apollos watered, but Christ is the one who reaps. And so we do this all together. But we're going to do this because the gates of hell aren't going to prevail against it.